Alright, update on camper electronics. The converter charger has been severely modified. Took the transformer out of it, which was the converter charger, supposedly. Left the AC side and the switch and fuse for the DC. I'll be replacing this with a, since this camper wants 15 amps, which is what the fuse is, I'm going to have a 15 amp DC power supply, like a benchtop power supply style, that will be mounted back here in this place. And then also I'll be mounting a battery charger to charge the battery, since this isolates the converter power from the charging power, or from the battery power. The converter doesn't actually feed to the battery when you have it on converter. So the charger will run as soon as you plug the trailer in and be running the whole time, and you can run directly off the converter, so no load will be on your battery while you're plugged in. That's what I'm doing. Save a little money since I only need 15 amps of current. The smallest converter charger I could buy was 55 amps. So I don't need anywhere near that. So instead of $115, I'm going to pay about $20 for a 15 amp power supply and hack this guy out of here, because it wasn't working, and there's almost no filtration on this power. I was getting 14 volts DC and 5 volts of AC bleeding through, so all high-end electronics were not happy with that power. In addition, it wasn't charging the battery. So yeah, the parts are on their way. Got that mod, cut that right there off, nice and clean, no sharp edges, sand it all smooth. And I've got an AC line coming out that used to be running the transformer that will run the 12 volt 15 amp power supply, and then I will tap in somewhere for the battery charger as well, because all my AC runs right out of this box, so that'll be easy. Obviously after the breakers, so that if anything goes wrong, it'll still function properly with the breakers. Alright, so we took out the transformer that used to be right here, cut the box off around it, added a 15 amp 12 volt power supply with nice clean filtered power coming out at 12.26 volts under load or not, nice and very steady, and a 3 amp battery charger that charges whenever we're plugged in. And when you switch to converter, it runs off of this, so there's no load on the battery. Functions pretty much identical to how the original did, except that mine charges in either mode. There was no connection between the converter and the battery, so it pretty much only charged off your tow vehicle or at home. So now I'll be able to charge the battery, and my power's nice and clean. The previous transformer put out power so dirty that my dimmer for my LED lights could not even function. It flickered, it flashed, it would not stay on, and then sometimes it would not turn off. But now my lights are constant and the dimmer functions properly on the remote. Good to go. And my battery is charging. So even if I were to switch to battery mode, it would still charge. And the fuse is still functional, and everything on the control panel is still functional as if it were factory, except it works better than factory now, because that's how I roll.